why I had no sound. Anyways, today's International Women's Day. You should be able to hear me now. I apologize for the delay. And we are going to discuss the history of International Women's Day, what it means, why it's important, why women are important, obviously. Men are important too, but women are important. So let's get a few people in the chat. Make sure you can hear me this time. Although there shouldn't be a problem. I think I figured it out this time. Come back up here. Okay, let me know in the chat. Make sure you can hear me this time. It should be working since I did figure out the silly problem. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me, please. I will await your response. Okay, so we are discussing International Women's Day, which apparently, good evening, Scott. Can you hear me in the chat? Just want to double check. It should be working now, but I just want to make sure. Yes, Abcool, happy Women's Day to you, my friend. Again, please let me know in the chat if you can hear me before I start talking and nobody can hear me this time. I feel like there's a hair. There's a hair there. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me this time. Please let me know in the chat. Okay, yeah, so that was my bad. That was my fault. Sometimes my phone does not like to disconnect from my earphones, and I was at the gym, so it was still connected to my headphones. That was the problem. So, sorry about that. How is everybody doing today? Sound has returned. Yes, I'm no longer connected to my headphones. That would be the reason it was not working. So, I apologize. But I'm glad I figured it out because I was having trouble with sound even in on my fitness channel. I had a whole recording that had no sound and I had no idea. So I know I need to double check and make sure I'm not attached to my Bluetooth speakers because that was the problem. And sometimes it just randomly connects to them. If I just move them around, then it automatically connects and I have no idea. Hello to Anu and Ombar says, Goddess, please don't say sorry. We should be the ones saying sorry. Well, I'm going to admit if I messed up on something, which I did. So nobody's perfect, not even me. Well, I'm pretty much perfect, but not quite all the way. Alexis, this is a completely unrelated comment to my live stream here. So I'm just going to, whoa, we've got a lot of people viewing this today. So I'm just going to put this out there for anybody joining the chat that's new. I do not tolerate inappropriate or rude comments, just so you know. So we are talking about International Women's Day today. Thank you, Mike M, for the gift. Just a reminder that super chats are on, and it is International Women's Day. Yes, it is. Jackson, I do not tolerate them. Go ahead, test me, see what happens. I have a swift finger. Hello to Ben. We're not doing the stupid 67 thing. I don't know what it means, but it's really annoying. I should go look it up. Okay, we are talking about International Women's Day, which began in the 1900s, if you weren't aware. And this is around the time that women started being allowed into the workforce, and women were working very hard for the right to vote. Ironically, as I started this live stream, I was distracted because my dad was calling me. And if you did not join my last live stream, or if you did, you might recall that my father said something rather insulting to me a couple weeks ago. And it was that women should not have the right to vote. I did not think this was funny at all. Neither should any woman, because the current climate of things in our country and world are sliding backwards. We're slipping and sliding backwards. We are not here necessarily to talk about politics, but since today is International Women's Day, I think this is important to bring up. once again, I will say this several times throughout the live stream. I do not tolerate rude and inappropriate comments in my live stream. So if you post if you post anything like that, you will be removed. Okay, just reminding you. Okay, I'm gonna start banning people left and right here, I can see, because we got a lot of people in the chat today. So International Women's Day began in the 1900s, associated with women entering the workplace. And if no one cares your favorite blondie, you little troll, then why are you here? That is my answer to you. If you don't want to be here, nobody is forcing you to be here and you can just leave. I will ban people left and right if you're saying inappropriate things. Hello to Paul. Hello to Robbie. Okay, hold on. Let me ban a few people here. We've got a lot of rude people in the chat. I don't know why the chat is blowing up today, but I'm just going to ban a few people here. Give me 1 second. I really wish I had my moderators here today, but alas, they are not. Oh my goodness. There's a ton of trolls here today. Hello, Easy is relapsing aloud here. I thought you just told me that you were doing so well. And here you are relapsing. Ban you. Okay. Don't have to tell me twice. Wow. Where are my moderators? Do any of my regular viewers want to be a moderator? Because I've got a lot of people in the chat right now and there's a lot of crazy people. I would really love to have a couple moderators. Steve, do you want to moderate? Ben? Anybody want to volunteer to moderate, please? Oh, Easy said he's been relapsing all week. No surprise. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me ban this person with their Livicino. I don't know you. I'm not going to make somebody a moderator. I don't know. This is only for my regular attendees. Good boy, do you want to be a moderator? I could really use a moderator here. Ben says he'll moderate. Thank you. Okay, so if you see any, let's see. Basically, if you see any rude comments, you can tell what they are. I'm sure you can tell what they are here. Or people spamming the chat, just ban them completely. We're not even doing a timeout. I don't have patience for this. Okay. Let's see. Oops, sorry. Oops, did not mean to do that. I'm just going to get rid of a few more people here that I can see. Yes, Lynette. Lynette says, as a woman of almost 65 years, it makes me sad how we have lost so much in the past 10 years in women's rights. Yes, I agree with this. Like I said, this is not a political channel. This is a financial domination channel. We talk about BDSM dynamics and men that are submissive to women. However, with that being said, I did mention earlier that it's becoming more and more common. Good boy wants to be a moderator? Sure. I need all the moderators I can get right now. So I know you guys well. You will be my moderators today. Please do not time out or ban our regular viewers, but if you see anybody posting rude or inappropriate comments, just ban them, please. Max, I don't know who you are. I'm sorry. I'm only making my regular viewers moderators who I feel like I can trust. So, so I'm just trying to. We got a lot of comments coming through here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be banning anyone with the 67. I don't know what it means, and it's irrelevant to my channel. So please stop. Adam, we can discuss this at another time. I'm not familiar with you. Again, this is only for people who are regular viewers here. Okay, so Good Boy and Ben are my moderators right now. Please keep an eye on the chat for just ban anyone that's posting 67. I'm getting really sick of that spammy comment. And anybody like the egg fart people, just ban them. I think that's somebody that just keeps creating a new account, which is really annoying. I don't really care what it is. We're banning. Okay. I guess everybody wants to be banned. Good boy, you have your work cut out for you. Okay. I'm unfortunately probably not even gonna have to read the chat because we have so many people leaving really annoying comments. Any of my other regular viewers that want to be moderators, Good Boy and Ben, can you please check the chat and clear some of these people out? Thank you. Anybody typing 67 can be banned at this point. Okay, so I was commenting on Lynette's comment. Like I said, not a political channel, but we are talking about International Women's Day. And again, if there's anybody else that's a regular viewer in the chat that would like to be, I'm just gonna go through and ban a bunch of people here. Moderators, please step in and help me out here a little bit. I can't monitor the chat and also talk. It's a little hard for me. Please help me out here. And if any of my other regular viewers would like to be moderators, please help me out. Wow. Okay, so I'm just not going to be responding to any more of these rude comments. You guys know what to do. Anybody else that wants to be a moderator, please let me know in the chat. If you are a regular viewer only, I'm not going to be having random moderators in my chat that I don't know, obviously. Okay, so with that being said, International Women's Day is a day about women's rights, where we were approaching voting, being able to vote and be in the workplace. So very important. And I agree with Lynette's comment that she said earlier about how we do seem to be sliding backwards. I want to talk a little bit about, how do I phrase this? Just how in history, throughout history and even in modern day, how women who are assertive or confident are commonly seen as intimidating or just I don't know how else to say it. I guess intimidating would be the best word. And it also made me ask myself, why do people see assertive or dominant women as intimidating? Can anybody in the chat tell me why you think that is? Why do we automatically assume that a woman who is confident or dominant is scary or intimidating? Is it a coincidence the world is falling apart right now, GTA? I would say probably not. Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay, subscriber only mode for sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out how to set it to I'm not sure how to set it to subscriber only. I don't see an option for that on here. Can anybody tell me? I see a chat filter, but it doesn't say. There's hide all chat messages. Fan funding, all messages. I don't see a way to make it subscribers only. If anybody knows how to do that, please, by all means. Let me see what this filter does, actually. Hold on one second. Community moderation, live chat. Here we go. Okay, subscribers only. Okay, so we're gonna, I found it. So let's see if that helps. Sorry guys, I've never had this many people in the chat before. It was a little overwhelming. So I think I made it so it's subscribers only, so it should be a little bit better. Tell me if that's a little bit better in here. Yeah, I put it on subs only. Whew, Whew, thank God, that was stressful. Oh, wow, we still have dickheads in here. It's really sad that there's people in the world that just like troll on the internet, on live streams, just to be nasty. And I just feel bad for them. They must have nothing else to do with their lives. Seriously, I hope you get a life. It's really pathetic. Very pathetic. Rudiger says, good decision. Yes, I didn't know how to do it. I figured it out, thank God, because that was atrocious. WS says, they're jealous they could never get a girl like you. I mean, it's very obvious that when people are trolling, it just says a lot about them that they have no life and are very insecure and probably have, you know what I'm talking about, very tiny and useless to women. We all know it's true. Okay. Jeremiah says, I want to serve your every need, my queen. Thank you for that. I really would like to get off topic completely, but I really would like to get some domestic servants. Every day I have a bunch of stuff to do around the house, and I'm like, you know what? I really wish I just had some servants that could do this. It would be nice. Okay. Wow. Anupo says, may I kneel down in your live stream? This shouldn't even be a question. You know that when you come in my live stream that you should be on your knees immediately. We've talked about this before. Anu, I don't recognize your name. I don't know if you've been in my chat before, but if you have, then you should know that as soon as you see my face, you should drop to your knees. You already know this. You already know this. Pan says, mine's tiny, but not when I'm here. Is that your subtle way of saying that you're a grower? What do you mean by that? Easy is really relapsing hard right now. Is a boyfriend having ED reason enough to cheat? I'm not really the cheating type, personally, to each his own. I believe in honesty in all relationships. Even if you choose to be polyamorous, not my thing, but to each his own. So I don't think cheating is ever okay. I know you guys have, a lot of you have home wrecking fantasies and that type of thing. Not my thing. But I would say that a boyfriend having ED is reason enough to leave him. I have had, unfortunately, a couple encounters with that situation, and it is not fun. Especially when a guy like tries to blame you, because it's quite clearly their problem. Actually, he wasn't really my boyfriend, but the last longer relationship I had, the guy had significant ED issues, big time. He was also a major jerk. So that was not a good combo and obviously didn't last long. So no pun intended. Oh, Lynette says, thank you for your channel. I found you by accident. Lynette, just based on your comment, I think that you would maybe find my political channel appealing. Like I said, we're not really going to discuss politics too much here. My channel here is more about female domination, financial domination. But if you check out Fiore Unfiltered, that's my political channel, and you might like that more. I'm a little inactive on it right now, but when I have more time to make videos, there'll be more content there. EE says, what's ED? I don't know if I can say the first word here, but the second word is dysfunction. So we'll say pencil dysfunction. Hopefully you can figure it out. Colby's asking if I'm single. I am indeed single at the moment. I don't like that comment. You're gone. Nicholas says, please, goddess, will you put your feet in the frame so I can kiss the screen? No, I don't know who you are. You're not serving me. You haven't done anything to earn my attention. And I certainly don't follow directions coming from a man. So WS wants to know if I'm taking BF applications. That's a tricky question. I wouldn't say I'm I mean, I guess I would consider the application. I'm not going to promise you anything. I'm certainly not actively looking, but I'm not actively not looking. I don't know. I don't really care. If it happens, it happens. That's kind of how my thoughts. PD says, greetings, goddess. I humbly bow down before you and kiss your feet. Also, easy. Oh, easy. That's a good question. Easy says, do you get depressed getting older and being single? Not at all. Not at all. I am very happy by myself. I think regardless of your age, that you should also seek to be happy and independent by yourself before you're in a relationship with somebody. Too many people, in my opinion, are codependent and rely on a man to make them happy or a woman to make them happy. And I think that's kind of sad, personally. So, and I would much rather be by myself than in a crappy relationship. So that's kind of my thoughts. My thought is also that when things are meant to be, they will be. And some things in life you just can't push or force to make happen. Mitchell says, do you have any kids? No, I do not have any children. I have a fur child who is a pain in the ass, if you want to know the truth. But he's also very cute and cuddly. Except when it's nighttime, then he's vicious. Kush is tipping $5 and says, snack. I'm going to assume that you're implying that I look like a snack. Is that what you mean? Or do you want to eat a snack? Because I like snacks too. Everybody loves my octopus. Rudiger says, I am now on my knees. I have one question, dressed or undressed? Undressed, obviously. Why is that even a question? Baller says, Jesus loves you all. I am well aware of this. This is not a Jesus channel, though. We're not talking about Jesus today. But thank you for that comment. Eric says, I think that Goddess Fiore's point is more that finding the right man is more the issue after becoming happy by oneself. Yes, I do think, it's important to be happy with yourself, but like I said, before you enter a relationship, whether you're male or female. I'll give you an example. I have a female friend right now. I have several very beautiful single female friends, which is really sad. And then there's all these toxic, terrible men. So if you know where there are attractive, decent men, by all means, please let me know because I don't know where they are. And like I said, I have lots of beautiful, smart, fun female friends, one of which is dating a very toxic dude right now who I do not approve of. And we've all been there. I mean, I've done that too. I'm not saying that, I'm better than anybody, but we've all made mistakes, especially when you're younger and you don't know any better, I think. But she started dating this guy several months ago, and he is a terrible person. Will basically like brag to her that he's like sleeping with other women, just to antagonize her. Very toxic relationship, and she has a history of toxic relationships and has a hard time getting out of them. So that's kind of her situation, but she's actively trying to date right now. And in my opinion, you should cut off the shit relationship before you're trying to jump into another relationship. Because for me personally, if I'm dating somebody, I don't want them to be sleeping with or, in a relationship with another person, have something else going on. I'm going to be the top priority. And I would, do the same for the person I'm with. Let's see what you guys have to say here. Good boy. Thank you. You're doing a great job. I see you timing some people out. I appreciate that. He's being nicer than me. He's timing people out. I just ban you effers. Yes. That's a good point, Eric. Eric says, honestly, a lot of the men that you're describing, non-toxic guys, aren't on the dating scene. They're single, but where did it go? They're single, but they're pursuing their heart's desires, degrees, hobbies, travel, much like the women. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how I've lived my life too. I got out of a bad relationship many, many years ago. I was living with the guy in Pennsylvania for a brief time, and it was a bad breakup. And so I moved to Tucson, Arizona. And I didn't date for a while, just spent quite a bit of time pursuing my own hobbies and just getting back to being myself again. And I think that's really important, especially after a longer relationship. When you're with somebody, you can lose yourself a little bit. But yeah, that jerk actually took my cat to an animal shelter. So that was nice. Some people, when they're hurt, they will just do anything that they can to hurt you back. That's not how I am, but that's how a lot of people are, especially men, unfortunately. Reed says, God spent more time creating me than anyone else. Well, that's a huge compliment. Thank you for that. But you don't need to repeat it 50 times. If you keep repeating the comment, you are going to be put on timeout, sir. I love that there's a timeout option, kind of like putting people in the corner, because some of you need to be put in the corner. Probably need more than that, actually, but Um, Steele is from Pennsylvania. Good to know. Not my favorite place to live. I'm not much of a snow person these days. Okay, you are being put in timeout now because you keep repeating the same thing over and over, and it is quite annoying. Okay, back to the topic at hand. Sympathy wants to be put in the corner. You silly person. Virtue Talking says it's his birthday. Happy birthday to you. Easy. Where did you go? You're not done. I expect another super chat from you because you're not done. Martin says, greetings, goddess. Should losers like me be in a cage? What a stupid question. Are you really asking me that? Can you answer your own question, please? I think you just want to hear it. But I want you to answer your own question. Go ahead then. Easy's here. He's just listening about relationships. Well, I told you to do something. That means you do it. Let's see here we got. Wall Street Tron. Join my stock course so I can take your money. I'm good. I'm not even gonna like that comment. I don't know why you paid for that comment. I've been trading stocks for a few years. I don't need your course. Actually, my favorite YouTube channel for stock trading was Ross Cameron. I do enjoy him, especially when he used to go live in the morning. That was nice. Speaking of, I'm getting very distracted here, which is no surprise. For those of you who don't know, I do day trade, and I've decided I think I'm gonna go live because I walk while I day trade on my treadmill. So I'm gonna go live, I think, at the fitness channel because people were asking for me to live stream while I'm walking. I don't know why, but so we're gonna do that while I'm walking and live streaming Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to probably about 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you want to join and chat with me while I'm trading stocks. But I'm certainly not buying somebody's stupid stock horse. Adam, thank you. He likes my octopus painting. I truly hate it when people come in my chat and they tell me to do a 360 or shake some. No, I will not be doing that. Once again, I do not do what men tell me to do. In case you haven't realized that. Maybe you need to go watch a couple videos on my channel. Autumn says you're pretty. Thank you for that. You look like you might be a woman. You have a tiny little profile picture. I'm sure you're beautiful as well. I did not paint the octopus, you guys. Actually, I'm gonna do more live streams from my other room, which has kind of a blank wall that I can put stuff on. Sometimes I put a dry erase board up there. And I'm thinking about getting like, it's kind of like a dartboard, but with like little Velcro balls. And I thought that would be kind of fun when I'm live streaming. When you guys send tips, I can try to hit the dartboard with the balls. Probably won't, but it could be entertaining. MJP. Oh, day trading. You know, long term day trading only about 0.7% make money. I know because I'm part of the 0.7. I am very well aware of this. It takes something called discipline and emotional control. That is the tricky part about day trading. Baller is a sissy. Welcome. Okay. Am I in New York? No. I'm in Florida. A little warmer than New York. A little warmer. Oh, PD says, please do a stream with a human footstool soon, goddess. Are you volunteering? Because I need a human to volunteer as my footstool, sir. If I have a footstool that would like to volunteer for a live stream, then he will be in my live stream. Song says, there are some weirdos in here. Oh, you're looking at one, my friend. Do you have a problem with weirdos? Because I like them. War No God wants to be stepped on. In heels or bare feet? Barefoot or in heels? Tell me. WSF says, it would be my honor to serve you. Prove it. PD says, I wish I could, but I live so far away. I know, this is the problem for most people. I don't think there's any really, every once in a while we'll have a sub that's in Florida, but nobody that's near me. Yeah, same thing. Ben is, I think, in New Jersey. Is that where you are, Ben? He wants to be my footstool, but he's not in Florida. I have been kind of teasing the idea of, because you know, it gets really hot here in Florida over the summer. So I've been kind of thinking about doing like a road trip up the East Coast sometime over the summer and maybe doing some IRL sessions. Autumn is in Florida, but you're a girl, aren't you? You're not like a submissive man. Unless you want to be a submissive girl, be my footstool. Kid is in Georgia. Where in Georgia? Because I lived all over Georgia. Autumn, you don't need to apologize. You're fine. Martin says, okay, goddess, I put my pencil in my cage. It's about time. It should always be in there. I am more distraught that you took it out, really. Kenny is in Key West. Ah, Kid is in Alpharetta. I lived all over Georgia. Let's see. Athens, Augusta, Savannah, North Atlanta, Druid Hills area. And we have somebody in California. I also live California. Lexico is in Florida. Whereabouts? Baller says, should I wear boys or girls' clothes? I guess that depends on the occasion. Or what, if you are serving someone, what they want you to wear. Lexico is in Jacksonville. Oh, we have another Floridian. Celine. Welcome. Is that a single cat hair? I have a long hair. That's one of my hairs. And it's definitely not a cat hair because there's no cats in here. Wall Street asking if I'm interested in running a pyramid scheme with him. No, I'm really not. I'm interested in locking you in a cage. Can we do that? This is Mr. Mo. He wanted to be in. Craig is asking, can I clap? Can you shut up? Oh, 3D is new. Welcome. Come to Virginia. Perfect weather, typically balanced. I don't think I've ever been to Virginia. I've been to North Carolina. I went hiking there once. Lexico wants to be locked in a cage. Gladly. I would gladly lock all of you in a cage. Together. So you're all smushed in there. That's not a cat, that's a dog. You thought he was a cat? Does he look like a cat? Sometimes he acts like a cat. He actually has like a little cat seat right here. And cat beds, but he is a dog. Moving along. We were talking about International Women's Day, and you all have distracted me multiple times. Okay, now you're saying he's a squirrel. Um, he has been called a fox, a rabbit, a squirrel. Somebody called you a meerkat one time, I think. I mean, he does hardly look like a dog, but he certainly does not look like a cat. And I think he's kind of insulted by that, honestly. Look at his face. You've pissed him off. He is pissed. You're lucky he doesn't bite you. You're lucky he can't bite you through the phone. It's a bear. I think he's a little small for a bear. No. 3D. I think you need to learn how to spell squirrel. Oh, well, thank you. Do-it-yourself girls. That's a lovely compliment. I'm drop dead gorgeous. I appreciate that. Okay, back to Women's Day was the topic of conversation before I got distracted again. So I want to discuss the difference between, because I discussed briefly about how assertive, dominant women are often seen as intimidating or scary. And we're going to talk about why that is. Maybe it's the fact that it goes against cultural norms of what you expect women to be. Women are expected throughout history to be submissive and feminine and weak, I guess you could say. And so when a woman is not submissive, quiet, obedient, like people expect, some people get a little scared, don't they? A little fearful. That can be scary for people because it's not what they're expecting or what they're used to. And also, I would add that particularly insecure men are afraid of women who are confident, intelligent, and dominant. So, we're going to talk about the difference between what it means to respect somebody, to admire, and fear. YG says, I like a female that can take care of themselves. Some people do not. I find it is the most insecure men who are intimidated or kind of fearful, and a lot of times they hide that fear behind insults, like a lot of people in the chat before I banned them all. So we're going to talk about respect. Respect is recognition of somebody's value or boundaries or authority. You're acknowledging that they deserve a certain level of consideration or seriousness. What do you mean? YG says, I think insecure and sometimes just wanting to be able. What do you mean by that? Louis says, what is the point of this live other than simps? Did you not read the title of the live stream? It's called International Women's Day Discussion, and that's what we're talking about. So maybe if you stop talking and listen, then you'll get the idea. What respect? Sounds like Tyler needs to be put in his place and learn a little respect, don't you? And Kenny says he would rather have fear. Some people like to be fearful. A lot of people that subscribe to my channel enjoy being scared and fearful, don't you? We're going to get to something along those lines a little bit later. But we talked about respect. Now, does anybody know the difference between respect and admiration? Let me see. Lots of comments. Ooh. Goodbye. Ew. Tyler wants to know, what does admiration mean? Admiration is kind of along the same lines as respect, but there's also an attraction to someone's qualities. And it draws you to the person. So it goes a little bit step further than just respect. Respect is kind of from afar. You know, showing acknowledgement of somebody's authority. Admiration, say, is more that you admire their qualities a step further. And what do you think it means when you fear someone? What does that mean when you fear a woman? What is the thesis here? The name of this chat is International Women's Day. That is the thesis, I guess you could say. Wall Street is back. He says, I like women who want to spend all my money. I'm confused. A minute ago, you were asking me to buy your stock course, and now you are, and then you were asking me to help you with a pyramid scheme, and now you want somebody to spend all your money. I choose option 3. But if $1.99 is all you have, then that's very pathetic. Moving along. Fear is a primitive, insecure response. We don't care about International Men's Day. Today's International Women's Day. And it's a reaction to a perceived threat or danger. So, if you are a man who fears women, then I think that just screams about your own insecurities. What do you think? Exactly. Scott says they have fear because they are scared. Yes. I am from the United States. I am not rage baiting. I am not here to rage bait. Reed says, I fear my mom, as you should. You should definitely fear, but also maybe respect and admire. Shouldn't just be fear. Maurice says, happy birthday, goddess, every day. Just to clear everything up, today is not my birthday, but thank you for that comment. Reed also fears his girlfriend. I think that's an appropriate response. The other thing I want to talk about along these lines is that how long am I streaming for? I was going to go an hour, but you guys keep getting me off topic. It's almost been an hour. I spent half the hour trying to figure out how to get rid of all the trolls in the chat, which I finally did. So, I don't know. We're just going to go in as long as I feel like going. Actually, until I get hungry, because I haven't eaten lunch yet and it's 5 o'clock. Whatever. Jimmy, hello to you. How are you doing? Finally caught you live. Welcome. Reed is just talking about all the women in his life that he fears. He is scared of everybody, it sounds like. So I would also like to, wow, there's a lot of people joining my OF right now. Interesting. And just a reminder, if you are joining my adult platforms hoping to see something, you will not be seeing anything because I don't do any nudity, just so you know. Now, moving along. I also wanted to touch on this International Women's Day. The fact that this came up yesterday, or not yesterday, a couple days ago. I was talking to somebody. Oh, so I have a relatively new female friend who is a psychology teacher at a college, and she had no idea about financial domination or BDSM, and she has been very intrigued by the whole thing. Wall Street, Ron. I'll take you to lunch if I can use your credit. No, that's not how this works. If we went to lunch, you would hand over your wallet and I would pay with your wallet. Just so you know. Moving along. So she is a psychology. James says, are you a feminist or something? I am a dominatrix, a little bit different. Bob wants to get my number. No. What have you done for me? Nothing. Hello to Ian. Sen says, are you obeying your man? A, what man? B, hell no. Moving along. So this came up the other day. Like I said, I have a new friend who is a psychology professor at a college, and she's very fascinated by BDSM, financial domination, female domination. And so she's been asking me a lot of questions about it. And I've showed her some of the conversations I have with men because if you are a vanilla person, you've never been exposed to any of this, it can be a little shocking. Ooh, leftover coffee. Delicious. It's like iced coffee. Anyway, so and she was just really shocked by the fact of how submissive some men can be because again, it's not really a cultural norm for men to be submissive, so it's a little unusual if it's something that you're not used to. And what I explained to her was, and I think a lot of people misread about submissive men, is that they think it's weak to be submissive. And I would argue that it actually takes quite a bit of strength to accept yourself as you are. So, and I've said this before, but I haven't said it for a while. So, I think submissive men are actually stronger in some ways than men who claim to be alphas and claim to be strong, but are actually very weak, insecure, and probably beta men underneath all that facade, if that makes sense. So, and on the other hand, I would also argue that it's a shame that more women aren't accepting of their power and control and just how do I say this? I just wish more women would step into their power as a dominant female, as a sensual female. And, you know, I feel like in society we're taught to be modest and to be meek and what's the word I'm looking for? And I just think women have a lot of power that they don't recognize. Jimmy wants to know if I have any service submissives. I don't currently. I recently got a CV from someone who wanted to be my domestic servant, but he didn't respond when I emailed him, which is a little frustrating. I would like some domestic servants. It is a possibility. YG, did I get your question? No, I'm sorry. I was probably talking. Are mods on YouTube AI or actual people? They are actual people. They regularly attend my live streams, and I have a lot more people joining this live stream than normal, so I needed some moderators because we were getting a lot of trolls. So what was I gonna say? So no, they are real people. Ben and Good Boy, they have been a part of my channel for a long time, so I trusted them to be moderators. And thank you guys for doing that. Charlie wants to know if I can be his mistress. Well, if you want to be my submissive, then you need to serve properly. I have videos on how to do that. You can always email me at fiorethegoddess@gmail.com if you would like to serve, if you want details. I do require an initial tribute, just so you know. I don't do free interaction. Hello, MC. Oh. Nav says, you guys are the greatest things God ever gave us. Are you talking about women or what are you talking about there? EE said it was basically World War I in the chat. You're telling me. I almost had a freaking stroke trying to read that chat. It was crazy. It was crazy. Skiff says, where are your videos? How much is the tribute? My initial tribute is $50. My videos are right here on the channel. I do have a video titled How to Serve. It's a little bit of an older video, so I used to have a tribute of $25. It's up to $50 now because I'm a little bit more established. So you can watch that video, but if I say $25 in that video, it's wrong. It's $50. Trigger says, I only believe in one God, and he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Good for you. Nobody is telling you to renounce your religion right now. So, yes. Quantum says, are you married? The answer is no. I am not married. Hello to Miles and Isaac. Isaac's in the house. How are you doing? Are things going a little bit better for you? I'm sorry, YG. I missed. Type your question again. Or did I answer it already? I'm sorry, I missed it. Jimmy says, my religion is Fiorism. Just to clarify, that, what was I going to say? Financial domination is not a religion. Yes, there is something called religious sacrilege play. I do not really engage in that because I am a very spiritual person, and I would never tell somebody to renounce their religion, even just as a fantasy, because I don't approve of that. Yes. EE says his religion is Dr. Pepper. I don't know what that means, but maybe you're a big Dr. Pepper fan. Charlie wants to know if I am Catholic. I was raised Catholic in a very traditional Catholic church that was all in Latin, and we wore doilies on our heads. I would not say that I am Catholic. I am very spiritual. I have a personal relationship with God. I do not feel the need to push my religion or my my views onto other people. I would prefer to lead by actions. VM, stop spamming the chat or you're going to be removed. That goes for all you turds. Tommy says, Mistress, may I breathe? Since you asked, no, you may not. Zero wants to know my ethnicity. I am half Italian and half German. Would you like to see my Italian massive amount of hair? Thank you for that, good boy. Stop spamming the chat. You can ask question once, wait a little while if I don't see it, then tell me I missed your question and I will return to it. You don't need to repeat your question over and over. It's actually very annoying. Okay, that's how you get banned off the channel, my friend. Good day. Okay, any other questions? Charlie is Catholic. Hava says, any plans on celebrating International Women's Day? I went to the gym. To be honest, I stayed up way too late last night, and then I woke up and then realized that it was daylight savings, and it was an hour later, which made me feel even more lazy. So I went to the gym, and now I'm just gonna chill out. That's my plan. Bad Monkey, do you believe in zodiac signs? I wouldn't necessarily say I'm 100% into it, but I definitely think that there do seem to be some coincidence when it comes to zodiac signs. I am a Capricorn, and interestingly, throughout my career, when I've worked with people of all different ages that are Capricorns, I just automatically have chemistry and get along with them for whatever reason. So there definitely seems to be some truth to it. Theon loves my face. Thank you for that. Okay, Isaac's doing a little bit better. Well, I hope things get better for you, friend. Martin says, I'm 24, never had a girlfriend. I have some friends, but I'm short and I feel a bit insecure. Should I give up on trying to get a girlfriend? I don't know if you're a submissive man, but I do feel like submissive men tend to be shorter, smaller framed, you know, kind of skinny. So I don't know if you're into domination or if you just randomly joined my chat here, but maybe consider that. I'm the Resistance says, I'm very beautiful. Thank you for that. Robert says, I love your videos. I would like to talk more about that at some point. What would you like to know? Do you have a question? Nira says, do you do Pilates or yoga? I've actually never done Pilates. I want to try it. I do have a girlfriend right now who does it, and I've been thinking about going with her. But I've done yoga for many, many years. I am technically a yoga teacher, although I don't like to teach yoga. I do practice it on my own a couple times a week, and I do have a fitness channel if you want to check that out. Wall Street, I don't care if you're paying for super chats or not. If you are leaving rude comments, I will still ban you. Love from Pakistan, hello to you. MJ says, oh boy, I'm a Scorpio. You could belong to B. I don't know what that means. Scorpios do usually seem to be very sensual people from my experience. That is like a characteristic of a Scorpio from what I've seen. Hello from the Netherlands. Yasuri says, don't ignore me. I did not see your comment. I'm not ignoring you. There are lots of people in the chat today. So maybe just type your question again. I'm not going to see every freaking question that you guys type. Like I said, type it. Wait a minute. If I don't see it, then type it again. Don't be needy. It's not attractive. It's actually very disgusting. Hello to Cafayette, who is also a Capricorn. Lovely. Bobby is from Mexico. Marcus wants me to walk all over him. I would gladly do that, but Louis says, what's with these mods timing me out? I don't know what you're doing, but you must have done something to deserve it. I am the resistance as a Scorpio Sagittarius cusp. I guess I should add that I am actually an Aquarius cusp. I am the last day of Capricorn. Lexi wants to know how tall I am. I am 5'6". Ian, no. I am in the United States. Charlie wants me to start wearing leather. Go buy me some leather and I'll wear it. Soccer is from Arizona. I'm not reading that comment, but it did make me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. Cafayette is asking where I'm from. Originally Illinois, but I've lived many places. I've lived all over the US. C-Boy wants to know if he can dominate me instead. No, that's not how this works. Charlie is a little short right now. Jimmy says, with due respect, missed my question twice. Well, say it again. I'll promise that I'll see it this time. However, keep in mind that sometimes YouTube doesn't allow certain comments. So sometimes people will post comments and then they'll get mad at me for not seeing the comment, but it never came through. So I'm just saying. Ben says Capricorns are the best dominatrices. I like that. Maybe because we are organized and what's the word I'm looking for? Attentive to details. Jimmy, I'm waiting for your comment. I'm still not seeing it. Sam says, see boy, can I dominate you instead? You guys are funny. Jimmy says, what do these men even gain spreading hate on live streams? Like, don't you guys have a life? That is the point. They have no life. I would imagine that most of them are probably in their mom's basements right now, just sitting around with nothing to do, with no life. That's why they go on people's live streams, and obviously insecure. You know, hate is usually people that were hated on. So I would say that what I was trying to say is hurt people hurt other people. So usually trolls are just very insecure people who were made fun of or whatever other reason. And if nothing else, we should feel sorry for them, is what I would say. Oh, Eric is from Arkansas. I think we talked about this before because I asked you what there is to do in Arkansas and you got a little offended last time. Am I remembering correctly? Cafayette's boss is from USA. Welcome, Chris. How's it going? New to the channel, he says. It's going well. Thank you for joining us. Miles wants to work for me. I would love to put some of you to work in my house, but there are a couple caveats that go along with that. One of which, you will be dressed as a maid if you are cleaning my house. Yes, you will. Frilly apron is part of the uniform. Charlie asks, what did I major in college? I have a master's degree in health sciences, if you must know. Not even reading that because it's annoying. Hello from Louisiana. Hello to you. And Mitsu, you're right. My name does mean flower. I don't know if that's what you were talking about. Okay, Eric is not offended that he lives in Arkansas. Somebody was. Martin wants to know if domestic servants have to wear cages. And the answer is yes. All men in my orbit will be caged. Obviously. I do electrical work. Can I work for you? Actually, why don't you come replace the entire electrical system in my house because it sucks. Half the outlets don't work and it's terrible. Soccer wants to know what mascara I have on. It's really pretty. Thank you for that. Why do you wear mascara? I actually put it, this particular mascara in my video called How to POV I Feminize You Putting Makeup On. It's in there. I think you can actually, excuse me, buy it in the description even. How do I brush my teeth? That is a very weird question and I'm not answering it because it's too weird. I don't know what that means. Chris. Marcus says, Goddess, can I be your maid and clean your house? I will consider your application if you are serious. Where do I apply for a position as a maid? You can email me at fiorethegoddess@gmail.com. Seaboy, be nice. Don't call other chat participants retard. It's not nice. Marcus really wants to be my maid. Have you ever been to South Bend, Indiana? I don't know. I probably drove through it. I used to live in Illinois. Is that near? I probably drove through it. I don't specifically recall. It doesn't sound that exciting. Not gonna lie to you. Hello from Australia. And Rollin, thank you for the little flower. That was cute. Oh, Mortem says, hello, I like this channel. Well, thank you for that. Good Boy is reminding you all to not spam, please, or he will put you in a timeout. And if I see it, I will ban you from the channel. Something to think about. Suspicious says, I'm fascinated by the idea that you're a self-proclaimed financial dominatrix looking for pay pigs, but you're upset by people trolling. It's the inverse of what you're doing, to be honest. What a silly comment that doesn't make any sense. I am not actively looking for pay pigs. I would call them fin subs, or sometimes I just call them subs. And they come to me if they want to serve me. And I never said I was upset by people trolling. I just said I was going to ban them and that I feel sorry for them. So I don't know why you're confused, but I hope you figured out. User is kneeling down, as you all should be. I already answered your question about South Bend, Indiana. What's my blood type? I don't even know. To be honest with you, I should know that, but I don't. MJ says, on International Women's Day, can we dominate each other equally? I don't know what you mean. Are you a woman? Are you talking about dominating other women? I'm very confused. Sam says, love the outfit. Can you do a spin for us? No. I do not follow directions of a man, much less one who is not serving me. So no. You're not answering my questions, VV. Well, I didn't see your questions. And just a reminder that sometimes YouTube does not allow your questions. So if I'm not responding to it, that could be why. Charlie says it is a really nice town with a question mark. I don't know what town you're talking about. Jimmy says, I would gladly accept the maid job. I don't know what my ancestors would think about it, but who cares? That would be my response. Who cares what they think? Your ancestors are no longer here, so why does their opinion matter to you? Ski says, why do you hate men? Did I ever say that I hate men? Has anybody in the chat, have I ever said that I hate men? Because I don't think I did. Quite the contrary, I find them very useful. Nero is right on. He says, if you don't have a good question, she's not going to answer it. Exactly. Alex says she loves men. I do. Yes, Eric. Exactly. Most doms actually love men. Just because we like to control men doesn't mean we hate them. And I would argue, yes, Ski says, I apologize for my impertinence. You should apologize. LeBron says, my grandpa got hit by an ice truck and you made fun of him. I'm pretty sure I did not. I'm pretty sure that was a dream you had. Martin, goddess, would you ever visit the Netherlands? At this point, I might consider moving there. MJ says, master's degree in health sciences while day trading is dangerous. I majored in pure mathematics. Just saying you should stop day trading trying to help. You have no idea how I'm doing with day trading, so maybe you should keep your useless opinion to yourself. Miles says, I'm a man, so I should be controlled, right? It depends on if you're a submissive man or if you're a dominant man. Sometimes men are dominant. Sometimes they're submissive and they enjoy being controlled. I would never force somebody to be controlled who doesn't want to be. Simply Sarah says, is it okay that I'm dressed like a woman today out of respect? Are you a male or a female? I'm guessing you're a sissy. Charlie says, I'm sorry I'm being a bad boy. I'll be better. I hope so. YG says, so if I'm serving you, oops, where did it go? Is it a possibility I can give domination? You clearly don't understand what the dynamic is about. So maybe you need to do a little research. Yes. Yes, exactly. Alex says you can't dominate something with no fight in the game. Exactly. And BDSM dynamics are all based on consensual activity. So if you're not consenting to something, I'm not going to do it. You may think I'm mean with some of my videos or the way that I talk to men, but I don't speak like that to people unless they want to be spoken to like that. So that's something to keep in mind. I have a whole video on why some people like humiliation, and it may not be for you, but some people really enjoy it. Eric, that is very well said. He says, she offers a service to men that they cannot find anywhere else. She allows men to have someone to show for their deep inner selves to. Exactly. And I think that's another important acknowledgement on International Women's Day. That especially dominant women give submissive men a chance to really be themselves, which I think can be very hard in society, in relationships. So I think we offer a very important dynamic for submissive men. Robert, thank you for the super chat. Electro, do you have a job? I have a career in healthcare that I've had for almost 20 years, but I only do it one day a week. Financial domination is my main source of income at this point. Good evening, HV. And Dominator, welcome to the Starter Slave membership. Martin, Goddess, do you do key holding services? Like, can I pay for you to hold the key to my cage? Absolutely. I would love to be your key holder. I don't have my key necklace on today, but usually I wear it. I don't know how people wear jewelry to the gym. I don't like wearing jewelry when I work out. Oh, Mortimer says, I am a woman and I love being controlled, and that's totally fine. Some women are submissive. I would probably say that you're maybe a submissive woman, and that's totally okay. MJ wants to know what I like to use men for. Well, I would say mostly money, obviously, since I am a financial dominatrix. But I am also into female domination. A lot of pure financial dominatrixes aren't really into, why is this guy staring at my house? Creepy. Why are you pulling in my driveway? I might have to answer the door here. I don't know what's going on here. What's my favorite color? Does anybody know the answer to that question? Because I've answered it a few times before. That's a cute little flag, girl power flag. I like that. Thank you. Do you think you need men? I think men offer a very useful service. The fuck is that guy doing? Mortimer says, I'm very submissive only in one aspect, if you know what I mean. Oh, I know what you mean. And, you know, there is something called a switch also, meaning that maybe sometimes you're submissive and sometimes you're dominant, depending on the dynamic in the relationship. So, you know, you don't have to be one or the other. You could be a little bit of both. XB, I have no idea what your comment has to do with my channel whatsoever. Green, black, Nero. You should know better. It was not a burglar. I don't know what they were doing. They pulled in my driveway, they went to the side of the house and did something, and then they left. I'm not gonna worry about it. Do I need defense from that strange lady? I have this vicious attack dog right here who's obviously not on the job. You're sleeping on the job. Anyways, I think I'll be okay. Tom says, I like a lady who has control over me. I bet you do. A lad wants to know the most humiliating task I've ever given someone. Well, yeah. Let's see. One of my favorite tasks was I had one of my sissies go into a drugstore. I don't know what kind of store it was actually. Some kind of store, and purchase some yeast infection cream and tampons and lipstick. So, with her panties out for everybody to see. So that was quite enjoyable for me. I like to come up with like really creative little things like that. But, you know, she enjoys public humiliation, so I would never. I had another sub that was asking about that, and they said they didn't like public humiliation. I would never give a publicly humiliating task to somebody who doesn't enjoy it, just to be clear. Like I said, everything with consent always. MJ is trying to put down my degree when you probably have no idea what I do. Rude comments will get you banned. Just a reminder. Wall Street Ron is annoying me, so I am banning him from the channel. Even if he's leaving super chats. I really don't care about your $2 super chats. You're annoying, so you're banned. My goodness. Charlie, why did you retract that comment? I was about to read it. You've been caged for 5 years. I wanted to read that. LeBron says, jobless, and you're acting so toughy tough. What do you mean I'm jobless? I just said I've had a career for almost 20 years and my job is in very high demand. I could work full time if I wanted to, but I don't want to. So I work 1 day a week because I choose to. Seaboy says he would also be a vicious attack dog for me. You are competing for my dog's job. Good boy is in pink panties on his knees. I love that. Ah, Merlin, that's a good question. Where do you draw the line in public humiliation between kink and what is socially acceptable in a public space? It really depends on the person and the situation. Um, really depends. It's very dependent on the situation. As long as there's not anything that's, obviously I'm not gonna have somebody exposing themselves in a public situation because they could get arrested. And if there's children around, that type of thing. So obviously there's limitations. But asking for yeast infection cream and tampons is not really violating anybody's boundaries publicly. Do I have a past life I want to get back to? I don't even know how to answer that. I don't know how to answer that. Okay. Charlie says, I've been caged for 5 years. Can I be uncaged, please? I promise I'll be a good boy. I am not your key holder, so I am not going to give you direction whether or not to do that. Marcus wants to be my trash can. That sounds lovely. Dominator is asking what happens when you're timed out. So I'm just going to bring it up so I can see it. So you can put somebody in timeout for 10 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 24 hours. So when somebody's, I'm guessing when somebody's in timeout, they can't leave a comment in the chat. Now, I also have the option to hide somebody on the channel, which means they're no longer allowed to leave any comments on anything. And I usually, honestly, if somebody's comment is rude enough, I usually just hide them from the channel, ban them completely because, if you're being a nasty person, I don't think you're going to change. So usually the moderators will put people in timeout, but I hide people from the channel. Does that answer your question? Oh, okay. Skiff also answered it for you. Michael says, how many times have you been married? Why would you assume that I've been married more than once? Is my question to you, if any. Okay, there you go. I have not been married before. Do I believe in ghosts? If I see it, I'll believe it, but I haven't seen one yet. Skip says, ask me how I know. I bet you've been put in timeout, haven't you? Have we put you in timeout? I don't remember you saying anything that was worth putting you in timeout, but I might have missed something. Mortem says, I can't say what I'm wearing. Ooh, sounds risque. Oh, Martin, that's a good question. He says, hi, goddess. What do you think is the best way to flirt with women as a submissive man? In my experience, most women are attracted to more dominant men. I would say, in general, that women are not going to come up to you, especially if you are submissive, unless you happen to come across a dominant woman out in public, which I think would be kind of rare, unfortunately, for you. But what was I going to say? I think it depends on where you are. Let's see, if you were, I think in general, going up to somebody with a compliment is a good way to start a conversation. Just a thought. But, and I would think, you guys let me know in the chat what you think about this. I would say in general that if it's a younger woman or person that you're approaching, I feel like from what I've heard some younger people say is that they don't like being approached in public at all. Like I feel like it's almost kind of like taboo depending on like where you live and the culture and that type of thing to go up to somebody in public these days. For me personally, I like it. I like it when people, come up to me and approach me, um, in a non-weird
Don't
way.
forget to take out your trash can.
Shut up, Alexa. Where's my charger? Like, I have people that come up to me in the gym all the time because I'm very strong and I do a ton of pull-ups. So I get a lot of people approaching me in the gym and complimenting me on my workouts and my flexibility stuff that I do. And I don't mind that. I think it's nice and I like chatting with people. So I think it actually says that they kind of have balls if they're coming up to me, to be honest. But that does happen to me quite frequently. Nero says he would say hello to me if he saw me. Well, I would say hello back. I personally enjoy chatting with people out in public when I'm at the grocery store or at the gym or wherever. Like I enjoy public interaction with people, but some people don't, and some women, I would say especially, do not like being hit on. They get creeped out by it and that type of thing. So I think it just depends on the person. But I would say, um, I would say just do what you want. Like if you want to approach somebody, then just do it. I would avoid, I've talked about this before, but I would avoid complimenting like a woman's appearance. I don't really think that's the best way to go. Maybe like what she's wearing would be okay, but like comments about a woman's appearance to her can come across as creepy or um just a little weird. So I would probably stay away from like compliments on their physical appearance, maybe like clothing, like I said, or um, maybe even their hair, or I don't know, something like that. But um, just going up and calling a woman beautiful, stuff like that, some women do not like that. So Mortimer says, "Do you dom woman?" I have not, but I would not be opposed to it. I have not had a female submissive, but I would not be opposed to it. Good boys remind you guys to not spam in the chat, please. Nero says, no, women don't want to be bothered unless you're a super good looking guy. Um, I would say confidence goes a lot farther than you think. Um, confidence comes across in body language. Um, and it's not just about your physical appearance as a man. So having confidence when you approach somebody in public can make a big difference. Rashad says, my knees hurt. Can I stand up? No, you cannot. Mortimer says, don't tempt me. Well, I will. Robert agrees with me about body language and confidence. They go hand in hand. Absolutely. Yes. Merlin, I don't know how to say that, says, I think if you compliment someone's appearance, it'd have to be very basic, like saying something like, you're looking radiant today, rather than picking out specifics. Like I said, I would stay away from commenting on somebody's like body, or like especially a woman, like telling them that they're beautiful and stuff like that. That can go either way. So I would stay away from that, but telling someone you like their shirt, or like you said, keeping it kind of basic, but basic but specific. Like if you just call somebody beautiful, or because I actually saw like a short on YouTube a while ago. There was a woman who said that this old man came up to her and said, I just want to say that you're absolutely gorgeous. And she was like super creeped out by it. And, a lot of women can perceive that as offensive and insulting because, sometimes they know they're beautiful and they don't need you to point it out. And it makes them feel awkward for you as someone they don't know to come up to them and say that. So I would say to stick to something specific, but like I said, clothing or how their hair is done, I don't know, something like that, than just general, like telling someone they're beautiful or something like that. So, oh, we have a couple Dutch friends in the chat. Lovely. Skiff says, how about you're hotter than fish grease? I would not suggest using that term. I don't think that's going to go well for you. But if you would like a task and to do that for my amusement and film yourself to show me how that goes, I would love to see that. I don't think it's going to go well for you though. Yes, Mortimer says it's easy to compliment other women's bodies if you're a woman, but when men do it, depending on their tone, it can be creepy. And even like depending on the woman, what they say and how they say it could come across as creepy or a little lesbianish. Just saying. All depends on the tone, what you say. Umbar says, Goddess, I would just bow at your feet if I saw you in real life. I would love that. I would love that for someday for me to be out in public and then just like men start bowing down. I think that would be absolutely hilarious. Skiff wants a task. I don't give tasks for free. Marcus is amused by the conversation. I'm glad you're entertained. And Nero wants to know if I like Cheesecake Factory. That is very random. I think I've been there once, many years ago. I'm not a big cheesecake person. I don't really like cheesecake. Barb says, Goddess, if I see you in a gym, I would just leave my workout and bow at your feet. That would be really funny to have like a gym sub that just follows me around and maybe holds my phone or hands me my towel when I have a little perspiration so I can wipe the sweat off and like wipes down the machines for me. That would be really nice, actually. I would like to have a gym sub. Nero was near a cheesecake factory. Is that why you're talking about it? Because that's very random. Men wearing chin straps are fun. Hello, Rashad. Haven't you already said something in the chat? You're acting like you just came in. Sorry, I'm just going back in the chat to see if there's anything I missed. Oh, that's a good question, Martin. Martin's got some good questions. Goddess, what do you think of submissive men in their 20s compared to submissive men in their 40s? For example, do they behave differently? Like, what do you like or don't like about either type? So I don't know that I'm trying to think if I've ever actually had a sub in his 40s. I feel like I've gotten more of an age gap, like early mid 20s, maybe like early 30s to like 50s and 60s. I feel like is more like the age gap that I've seen. You would think, one would assume that older men like 50, 60 would be more obedient and able to commit to things, but I find that that's not the case. I find that there are still many submissive men in their 50s and 60s who are very impulsive and into instant gratification, which you would think that they would be past that, but they're not. So it's a little unfortunate. But, and then that's also a problem with younger subs, which you would assume is that they are impulsive and can't stick to commitments. That's what I would say. Barb is drooling at the thought of being my gym sub. Merlin says, I feel like your 20s and your post 60s are the ages where you don't care about society thinks in general, but I might be mistaken about that. Well, we're specifically talking about BDSM dynamics and how those ages of subs interact with me is kind of, I'm not, making a generalization about how they are in society or whatever. I'm just saying, like, in a BDSM dynamic with me, what I've seen. Bijadil? I don't know how to say that. Good question. What do you find hot about subs which they don't realize? I will say that I don't think that people would normally expect a lot of submissive men to be attractive, but many of them actually are. And it's kind of shocking that they are submissive because they look like they could get any woman that they want and be dominant, but they're actually submissive. So I think that's kind of surprising. And then also, I was going to say something else. Let me read your comment again. I mean, I think they do probably realize this, but just the fact of it's a man who is begging to be controlled is attractive. And the fact that men want to give me their money is very attractive. I have a sub right now who sends to me several times a week. I've talked about him before. I have a few, but there's one in particular that's very regular. And, it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It makes me very happy to wake up and he's sent me a bunch of money. It used to be just like once a week, but he's sending more and more, which is nice. Nero says, I like hot subs, sausage, or meatball. I don't think that's what we're talking about here. Let's see. I'm just going to call you Merlin. I know that's not your name, but that's what I keep wanting to say, and it sounds better anyways. Merlin says, can I just say that I'm really enjoying this chat, both speaking to chat and the streamer. I don't think it fully aligns with where I'm at, but I'm very interested in what you have to say. Well, glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. What do I? Gigi, your comment doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Today is Women's Day. What I do locked or unlocked for 1 year? I don't know what you mean. Ben says, control provides clarity. I love submitting. That sounds like one of the lines in my videos. I don't think I've said that before, but I might use that one, Ben. Oh. Ombarb says, would you rather choose a gym sub or a housework sub? Definitely housework. Definitely housework. Yes. I have a long list. Oh, Merlin says that's the English version of his name. Most people call him that anyways. Where are you from? I'm trying to figure out from your name what that would be, and I'm not really sure. I want to guess, but I'd probably be wrong. Also, just a reminder that super chats are an option if you are enjoying the conversation. I guess Easy relapsed and dipped out. Or is he still here? Ombarv, can you tell the reasons for choosing a housework slave instead? Simply that I have a lot to do and it's stuff that I don't want to do. I was going to guess Netherlands. I wasn't sure. Is it cold there? What's the weather like in Netherlands? I'm curious. I hear there's a lot of people from the US moving there right now. Is that true? Yes, for housework, I have a drawer that I would like cleaned. I would like my ceilings cleaned. I would like the whole floor vacuumed. I have a whole list. My grill, I'm always trying to get that cleaned. Oh, Martin says, I want to send super chats, but it doesn't work anymore for some reason. And he said it's wet most of the year. Is it cold or warm? Oh, slightly above freezing temperature, ocean climate. Sounds cold. Oh, Robert just sent me a payment on one of my payment platforms that I can't say on here, but that's always an option too. If you go to my profile, I have links. Ah, Braunschweig, Germany. Did I say it right? Germany is on my list of places I'd like to go because I am half German. Nero says, yeah, I want to move to Netherlands or some European country. I don't like being stuck in the US. And Martin says it's pretty cold for most Americans. Oh. Sporting Boy said he's also having trouble with sending super chats. I know I've gotten several super chats this live stream, but I don't know why it's not working for you. Like I said, I've got other payment platforms Robert just made a send. Love from India. Aw. He says, I would just give up everything to serve you in any way. That's adorable. That's so cute. Nero, as far as being stuck in the US, I've never personally wanted to move from the US until the last few months because things are getting rather scary. Has anybody here seen The Handmaid's Tale, just out of curiosity? And Sporting Boy says, honestly, Europe is not exactly paradise. I'm Belgian and it's pretty bad at certain places here. Yeah, grass is always greener, right? Mortimer seeing The Handmaid's Tale. I've watched it already, but I'm watching it again right now. And along the lines of International Women's Day, one thing I did want to bring up is, if you recall from that show, there's a part where things start going downhill in the United States in the show. And they pass a law that women are not allowed to work or own property. And so one of the main characters goes to work. She shows up at work, and the boss tells all the women that they are being laid off because of the new law. And I've watched it before. I didn't really think about this, but I'm like, if that really happened, like, things would completely crash. I mean, women are such a huge part of the workforce and bring so much to life and businesses in general that I think they would be completely lost without women at this point. Caleb is asking what my OF is. I cannot say it on here. You will have to go to my profile. All my links are there. Ambarv says, any chances of you visiting India? India, I'm not going to lie to you, is not at the top of my list. I am more of a Europe lover or a tropical weather lover than India necessarily. I'm not saying I would never go there, but it's not at the top of my list, to be honest. Ben says the whole world has problems. Sure does, especially right now. Ah, Martin says, yes, but we have a very good safety net for lower income people. That is important to have. Heather says, what's up with the octopus? I don't know, it's just a painting on my wall. Why are you so curious about my octopus? Martin, I don't know if I can use that word here, so we're not going to really talk about that. MJ says, I've lived in Norway. It's full of Norwegians, but no place is perfect. That's very strange to say, but okay. Martin says, wait, YouTube translates my message automatically? I don't know, but I can read it. I'm reading it how I see it. I don't speak Dutch or whatever language you speak. Bajad, I don't know you. You're not serving me. You haven't done anything to deserve that, so no. I do not take direction from subs. Just so you know. As I like to say, I am not your fantasy vending machine. Nero says, "Sporting boy, I'm not looking for paradise, just to live in a place where the people aren't crazy." I hear that. Try living in South Florida. Ah, wow. Merlin says, I recommend against Netherlands, to be honest. We have a huge housing crisis and the highest retirement age in Europe. If you're financially stable, I'd recommend a more southern EU country. Good to know. Mortimer pipes in that taxes in Norway are so high, but it's still lovely. All right. Yes, Miles, no, I cannot hear you, but I can see your comment. Michael says, besides this, what else do you consider be your strong points? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Elaborate, please. All right. On that note, we have gone almost a whole hour over on the live stream. And I'm getting very hungry because I did not eat lunch. Mortimer is struggling that she still can't believe that they got rid of the penny. Yes, it does feel strange. I have a few. Do I hold on to them? Are they going to be rare? Mortimer is getting very upset that I'm about to leave. No Uber. I don't need a ride. Michael wants to know if I enjoy any hobbies. Somebody ordered some Amazon. Oh, Mortimer was just getting comfortable. Okay, Cameron wants to know how long my hair is. Let's take it down. It's probably a little greasy. It's getting very long. I do need to get a haircut soon. But it will never be short. I got my hair can't talk. I got my hair cut short one time. Never again. It's not happening ever again. But it is quite long right now. I don't usually have it straight. Usually it's like wavy. But quite long. I just need like that much cut off. Just the trim. Just the ends. But it is very long. And thick. I have lots of hair. And put it back up so it's not in the way. Gigi is complaining about his knees. Stop whining. Michael, you asked about my hobbies. One of my hobbies I enjoy is day trading. I think it was very rude, whoever was in the chat earlier trying to convince me not to do it. I would never tell somebody not to do something that they enjoy doing. Very weird. Anyways, I enjoy pole dancing. I've got a lot of stuff on my table, but in case you haven't seen my living room, there's my pole and my aerial point behind that. Don't look at the table, it's messy. Ooh, your breath stinks. You have stinky breath. You gotta go get your teeth cleaned soon, doggy. Working out, obviously. I spend a lot of time working out. I love the beach. We go to the beach all the time. I like to go kayaking. Oh, I have to be careful what I say. I have a bike. We go for bike rides on the beach a lot. Usually dog-friendly activities because I have a very spoiled animal that thinks that he should go with me everywhere. Oh, close your mouth. That stinks. Stinky breath. I don't get too many face framing layers because my hair is too long for that. I get a couple like long bangs in the front, but not too short. Nero says, do you enjoy making money with stocks or you just like doing it? I'm still learning. So I do a lot of paper trading. I have both made money and lost money trading stocks. So I would say I'm still in the learning process. Merlin says, I've never heard someone describe day trading as a hobby. Well, I describe it as a hobby now because I'm still learning. I'm hoping to make it a source of income. But as of right now, it is still in the learning process for me. I'm just being honest. I could tell you I make a lot of money, but I'm just being honest. Oh, Michael says, thanks. I just don't want to be controlled by someone I can't relate to. Okay. Well, if you want to have a more personal conversation or get to know me, I post a lot about myself on my profiles if you want to serve. Hello to Dululu. MJ says, you can move to Norway with me if you want. I have an apartment in Frogner. You have to clean though while I day trade. I think not. I'll pass. Have you made someone pay for your pedicure? Well, I do have a sub who paid for my manicure the other day. I'm not due for a pedicure yet, but when I am, then it will be paid for sure. Trucker says, all my wife's boyfriends are bigger than me. That is very random, but also entertaining. Mortimer wants to know if I go live daily. So I'm going to go live. I'm still on the fence. For now, I'll talk about when my regular live streams are on this channel, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays. Every Thursday I do that one. I do this one on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I would say half to 3/4 of the time, not every week, but most weeks I go live at this time. I'm also going to add a live stream while I'm day trading and walking in the mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern time. But I'm just not sure if I should do that on this channel or the fitness channel because I did have somebody request that I go live on that channel. Maybe I'll do a couple days on that channel, a couple days on this channel and see what works better. I don't know. Do you guys want to, would you be there if I go live 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern time during the week? Would you be there for that? KS says, how can I pay for your next something or other? Well, you can leave a super chat right here. Some people said they have trouble leaving a super chat, so I don't know if there's a problem, but you could try that. Or I have other payment platforms on my profile. Martin is wearing his pink cage on International Women's Day. That's a good choice. Nero says, are you going to show us how you day trade? I can if you want me to. Mortimer says, can I find that channel through this channel? I definitely have the link on some of the posts. You could probably also just look up Fit with Fiore is the name of the channel. He loves an ear rub. Look at him. He loves it. But I will be talking about while I'm day trading, like what stocks I'm looking at and why, and whether I'm going to trade them. I'll talk about that. I can show you my setup if you want to see it. Martin is jealous of my dog right now. Do I use a prop firm? No. No, that's like a professional day trader. I'm not a professional day trader. Okay, on that note, I have somebody who wants to do a very large drain. I just got a notification, so I'm going to go take care of that sub and drain all his money and eat lunch. So I will see you all tomorrow morning. If you're on the fitness channel, you can join me. I'll try a couple days on the fitness channel, a couple days on here. If not, then I'll see you Thursday night.